everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is LolaAjisafe for those of you who don't know. And today we are now going to be reviewing the reunion episode, the final episode for season 4. This is part 2. Now before we start, don't forget to like the video. Do drop a comment how you feel, what you think, and subscribe. Now before we start, this is the final episode. Just want to give you guys a heads up. I will be reviewing and going back to Love and Marriage Huntsville, so stay tuned. I think that starts July 17th. But for now, let's tuck into it. All right. So we ended part 1 on, nephew Uncle Tommy. Let me stop playing. Nephew Tommy asked, Kyra, hey, you know what? So, homie, the Dark Lord, AJ, Ashlyn, says he's not interested in, Alexis. So what do you choose? What would you want to do? Where do you want to go from here? And, she just done, she starts the engine. But I think I'd said last week, if you have to take more than 4 seconds to say what's here for someone like her who already knows, it's a no. But she goes in a flowery, polite way of saying no. I'm not into it right now. Good choice. Because just my personal opinion is that if she, either now or in the immediate future, decides to say, oh, you know what, AJ, let's give it another go, he will show her pay. That's just my personal opinion, because on big platforms such as, Ready to Love, he'd been rejected. And he was the first one to be rejected at the, the Choose You, I Choose You ceremony. So I don't think he's gonna let that just slide under, at least not right now. Maybe when he grows, there's some time, he might let it go. But I don't think right now he's trying to let it go. So that's just how I feel. So, but she did say one thing that I thought was to note, is that she was saying that, yeah, he knows what to do later on if to make a change in mind. I don't know. AJ, I don't understand either. So you're all just good as, business buddies, because you're in the El Cheapo business now, merchandising. So yeah, stick to that. That's just my personal opinion. Okay. So they open the next packet. My boy Troy. So in the past, I've had a strong opinion and strong reaction to this young man. Well, not so young. He's 51, but he looks young. He looks good. I won't take that from him. Uncle Troy looks great. Takes good care of himself. Now on the inside, I can't speak for it, but what he presented to us didn't help, so nephew Tommy, let me stop playing. Nephew Tommy starts with, calls him Sir Lips a lot. I love that little play on words, and that's like it starts doing all that. But anyway, going on to Troy. So, we had already established, earlier in the season, Troy had promised, multiple women trips, up to 3, and maybe kissed half of the females as part of the, the team. And he says that, and so they kind of ask him, so Troy, what's up with this thing about your kissing? You'd call it your signature go-to move. And if she doesn't, lynch away or make any comment, that means she wants you. So they ask him, so, why do you do that? And he goes ahead to say that there was a short window of time in which he needed to create an impact and to get through. Qu'est-ce que c'est? I didn't like the answer. Second question that I thought to note. What did you learn from this experience? Very good question. Sir Troy, what did you learn from this experience? Both what you went through, the feedback from after. He went ahead and said that he's not going to be running or moving mad in front of the camera. What, sir? So, AKA, he's saying that he won't show his predatory behavior in front of the camera, but he will continue to do it behind the camera, behind the scenes. I don't know if that's what he's saying. What's he saying? I know sometimes people get a little nervous when cameras are running, still trying to look cool, but sir, you might want to clean that up a little bit. Or if that's who you are, ladies. That's the thing. So, Sir Lips a lot, farewell. Once again, they kind of drop off, quickly bring up Andrea. And I think they brought up her. There wasn't much to say apart from the catastrophe part, missing cat, I did notice here that Diedrich, we saw more sides to Diedrich. I don't know, I don't want to step over my toes here. But I don't think Diedrich was shown in such a great light in terms of the clips that were shown, because it shows here him defending, like, you guys, you know, you may not be getting through to her because she's going through this. Like, he was really trying to prop her up. He was trying to help. And so I can see how he can be seen as a big brother, because apparently he's really close to Stacy, he's close to V, and he's close to Kyra right now. And I can see that because, you know, he was just like, hey guys, da da da. I don't know if that was just for performance, but that was another side to Dietrich we hadn't really realized. Still kind of confident, telling guys, don't write her off yet, da da da. But anyway, back to Andrea. Like we said last week, my sister is gorgeous. Easily, facially, the most gorgeous one. I hate to pair women against each other, but if you were just doing the crown, although the crown kind of does different avenues of what you look, but if you were just to look at her and she's just meant to just pose, that woman is gorgeous. Hands down. Now, anything else about her, but gorgeous. What else is to say? Yeah, catastrophe, moving on. All right. To one of the bigger, meatier things of the night, the Jason and Kyra clash or conversation, whatever you want to call it. So they played the little packet, you know, when he'd mentioned, you know, he'd dealt with depression and she said she felt comfortable. So you could see the burgeoning relationship kind of, you know, evolving. And so, nice, cute little clips you could see. And I don't think any of us, in terms of the viewers, we were confused as to, you know, Kyra really being his initial first interest. Right? That was where his eyes were laid on. That's where he was going to. If, I don't know if Kyra had played it differently. I wonder if he would have been with her. But God knows how he does these things. He knows how it happens. He not with her. But back to the point. You know, you see, you know, you could see it, but they had a nice chemistry. What I did notice is not quite, or maybe the cameras didn't show that. The chemistry didn't seem as big as that of his chemistry with Liz, but they had a decent chemistry going on, you know, kind of show them walking, talking, just getting to know each other. And it was nice to see, you know. I'm not sure how Kyra was feeling. But anyway, you know, Kyra goes on to say that she felt like, you know, that day during the gentleman's lounge, you know, when they're deliberating and deciding it, Kyra, everyone picking Kyra, that she felt that was the turning point for her and her relationship with her and Jason, that he felt maybe threatened or whatever the case. And that has been what's been going on in the, you know, Tubosphere. People saying they think that, you know, it's likely that Jason changed his mind. Yeah. Honestly, I'm not here to psychoanalyze, you know, if that was it. Because it could be, it couldn't be, I don't know. But what I do know is, truth is, personally, I don't think I need to fight you, contest with you, run, skate, stand on my head to prove myself to someone who is for me. If you're for me, I'm not saying there shouldn't be any, you know, work to be done in the relationship or, you know, trying to walk towards relationship. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying I don't think I need to start doing, you know, muscle curls and, you know, push-ups to prove myself to you. No. I'm not trying to fight for anyone's love. I'm sorry. Now, in a relationship, there is a fight for the relationship that occurs because you have to grow, you have to go through things. But up front, like, put it on the other side. If I'm a woman and like lots of girls are going for this guy, if he don't see me and say, she's the one, that's where I want to go. I don't need to start twerking and doing all sorts of things to impress you and say, hey, pay attention. No. So that's the point where I kind of disagree with that. You know, people may be looking at it negative, like when everybody's going for Kyra. Like, 100 of you can go for, and I've been in that situation. 100 people could go for a certain guy, but if he doesn't zero in on me and say, hey, how you doing? Because when I don't believe in chasing, but so when he zeroes in, how you doing? Smile. What's going on? Welcoming. You look at him, you pay attention. What I'm not going to do is be chasing you with the rest of them. That's not how it works here, at least not in my stratosphere, how I see things. So if that is the criticism one has for Jason, then to me, it doesn't really hold water, because love is love. And I agree with what his father told him. It doesn't have to be complicated. I like you, you like me, what's up? Now, if I'm still trying to measure and figure out, like, I know it's a dating show, and I know there were multiple people interested in multiple people. But if I have to do more to pull and push and stretch, then it's not for me. That's how I feel. Now, some other people feel differently. But if I look at the other side, some people feel differently. They want to do, you know, the gymnastics and do all the stuff for the person. And then the relation doesn't go anywhere. Or maybe it does. But Different strokes for different folks. For me, I'm not about I've got to prove myself. I'm the one. I'm the one for you. The other lady isn't. Oh, come on, jeez, come on. Yeah, I'm not about that. So, guys, I'm with Jason on this. Yeah, he was interested in Kyra, and Liz. But if it's not working, it's not work. I don't need to push it. Like, this is the beginning. We're not even in a relationship yet. I've got to struggle. Struggle love. Yeah. That's negative. Struggle love is negative. It's not endearing. Struggle love is not meant to be. They're things you're meant to work on, but you ain't meant to struggle, guys. That's just my personal opinion, how I see it and how I'll be rolling. So, during the conversation, they get talking, they finish playing the video pieces. I could see that Kyra was, for someone who is good at debating, is an attorney, of course, fast, quick, got facts at her fingertips. She was emotionally involved, and it does confirm what I feel like. She had feelings for him, but for one reason or another, either for the reason for the game or this, or felt confident and wanted to, play like, she'd do like, Adriana, I believe from last season. I choose you. No, I don't choose you. Then maybe that's what happened, and then she lost it. But watching that exchange between them, it leads me to believe that she has strong feelings for him, because it got to a point where, like, she wouldn't let him speak, and he's trying to explain, and she's shooting. It's just a lot of, Kyra wasn't able to play the role she probably wanted to play at the reunion, which would be unbothered. Yeah, you're a liar. She could have, I'm just playing how she could have said, yeah, Jason, you're a liar. You wanted me, it didn't work out. Hey, but you lied. If I had said yes, you would have, like that, like just real cool, calm and collected, like this, unbothered. It's a beautiful place to live, but it's hard to live there if you're not really truly unbothered. So she couldn't occupy that space. And once again, I'm not here to judge my good sis Kyra, because that's us. She is us. That little part where we kind of misstep, misplay, make a mistake, get a little too cocky and miss it. But the beautiful thing, there's redemption, there's recovery, there's growth. You grow from that and you move from that. And I still believe that everything happens for a reason. It wasn't meant to be, so it wasn't. So it is what it is. But then we watch this and we I won't use the term criticize, but we critique what's going on, more or less for you, for me to learn from. Because entertainment, what's entertainment without a little piece to learn from? So we learn from this. You get a little too cocky sometimes, you lose. Sometimes you don't, but sometimes you do. So that's what happened, Kyra. Like, she's human. So she lost that. You can see that she's definitely emotionally involved. And there's something that what's his name said? Jason said, talking about, he did acknowledge that she's this, she's all these great things, very smart, educated, da. But in terms of her emotional depth, he thought she didn't have much, and she wasn't able to express truly how she felt. Like, I wasn't there with him, so I don't know. But it's possible, because you can't be everything. We're humans. We are designed with faults, because perfection is merely a myth. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing as perfect. You have to find someone or something that suits, certain things. Your non-negotiables, you run away, but you're not going to find that perfect person. So she can't be perfect. So maybe she hasn't gotten to that point where she's able to dig deep and express herself. But sis is 34, she's got room and time to grow. So he may be right, he may not be, that might just be some criticism, but either way, if you're out there and you feel like someone's told you, or you feel like you don't have that emotional depth, work on it. Everybody talking about therapy, it's big now. It's no longer, particularly if you're one of the chocolate persuasion, it's no longer frowned upon if you have to talk with someone to settle things in your mind, because that way it breaks down those barriers. Because a therapist doesn't tell you what to do or tell you how to be. They help you break down to find out who you are, because we're all individually different. God created billions of us, but the truth is we are all different in some shape or form. No one person is the same. Even twins that they come out from the same egg can turn out to be completely different. How much less different human beings? But we're here to grow. That's the journey. The journey here is to grow, and to grow with each other and help the next man grow. That's our purpose. Our purpose ultimately is to help each other grow, move on, and that's when you feel fulfilled and you have joy. Okay, let me step off my soapbox for a second. But anyway, so with that piece, poor emotional depth, she might. Sis, that's okay. You got room to grow. So the another part towards the end of this little packet here was when Liz, after they finished everything, they always do, behind the scenes, it's like behind the cut. Their mics are still hot, but they're acting like they're not filming, so they catch some live stuff. So, my sis Miss Liz, you know Liz is my favorite. She giving her man some support and encouragement. Some people might see it another way, like she mothering him. I disagree. And maybe you do sometimes. Maybe you do play a mothering role sometimes with your partner. And I won't call it a mothering role, but a role, if you're calling a mothering role a role of encouraging and supporting, then hey. So if I sometimes have to encourage my partner the way I encourage my son, then it is what it is. But sometimes your man needs some support. He needs to know that in that corner right there, she's there for me, 10 toes down, all day, every day. But at the same time, when I move mad, she's gonna call me to it and say, bruh, don't do that. That's what a relationship is. That's what a union is. That's what a partnership is. Support me when I need the support. Don't kick me when I'm down. But when I do something that needs some correction, tell me. So she's telling him that, you know what? You did good. You said your piece, you got your words out, you made some good points. But what I also like is when she said, I'm also happy that Kyra was able to say her own. She was able to express herself and she had the opportunity to give her point of view and let it out there. I like that. It was balanced. At least, even if she was pretending, sis played a good game. Liz, I like you even more with that because you were there for your man, but you said, that's a sister. Now that's what I want all of us to think like that. I don't want us to think that we have to fight each other. Yo, sisters or sisters, if we can get it together, we will own this planet. Men don't want that. Because if she's like, we can be for each other, it's a wrap. It's done. It's tied with a bow. That will be it. But it's a design by the patriarchal system where we feel that we have to fight each other. When we get it together, and we're getting there. When we get it together, women, we're unstoppable. I believe in us. And so that's why I love to see that sister thing. Yeah, they're going for the same guy. Yeah, one lost, but she had the grace to say, you know what? I'm happy she got her point of view out. I may not agree with her, but I'm happy she got it out so she can feel better about it. Liz, that's another point for you. I'm with you. All right, so we start the David and Stacy packet. You know, they start with the password convo. You know, at the time, I did believe and agree that David he wasn't being literal. He wasn't saying, you need to give him a password and da-da-da. I felt like maybe Stacy was triggered. And I think I said that videos back. I said, I felt that she was triggered. I didn't think he meant like handle your passwords right now. Let's do it. Yeah, that's it. But the direction he took with this interview is like, hey, okay, guy, calm down, you know. Because, you know, they use this opportunity to talk about transparency, you know. Would you, give your passwords to a boyfriend, with a husband? Some would, some won't. I don't know if I share passwords on my ex. It is what it is, but it wasn't intentional. It should be a natural, organic process. Okay, here. But it should be like, okay, now we're married. You give me your password. No, it shouldn't happen like that. But what I noticed is that I don't like the way David was trying to maintain it. You can have a different point of view, but you don't have to interrupt. Whether it's a lady or it's a colleague or a fellow dude, you don't have to say, you let them finish. Like, he's so desperate to get his point across. There's something there. Like, he does this with everyone. Like, he don't want you to talk. So when you finish speaking, then what? Like, she's talking, then you want to interrupt her again. It just like doesn't speak well for him in his little tight pants. Like, dude, like, relax. Like, yeah. And then it got to a point where he said something, I felt we did the viewing public a disservice, because they do understand that we use this as a platform to branch off on discussions. And then I like the way Stacy says, but she says, no, this discussion actually led people to talk about, and even now, talk about when there's a misunderstanding, when I can't hear you, you can't hear me. We might be saying the same thing, but we're on a different highway. So we're not listening to each other and we act like we're fighting each other. Or we actually are saying different things, but sometimes there's such a thing as you agree to disagree. And you might later on see, if I can understand where you're coming from, even if I don't agree with you, then we're good, because then that leads me to understand you a little bit better. But it looked like he wasn't trying to listen. And then he went ahead and said some snippet talk about active listening, in reference or inferring that Stacy wasn't listening and wasn't actively listening. She was only listening to respond. Now, is that true? I don't think so. But of course, I'm here batting for Stacy. I'm not feeding David right now. But my point here is, even if it was true, sir, not your place. Because you're one to talk. Your ass don't want to listen to no one, nothing. I'm not sure how you follow directions from God because you don't look like you listen. And literally, when people act a certain way, that same behavior bleeds into different areas of their lives. So I don't know where you want to say someone doesn't listen actively, but go ahead, sir, do you. But yeah, that wasn't you trying to resolve anything. You're still throwing darts and accusing, and it didn't work for me. You didn't really cop to your part of the conversation where you could have done better. You were criticizing what you felt she fell short of, which was active listening. That's an issue. Like, if you can't, with a misunderstanding, if you can't cop and say, oh, maybe I could have listened better, and then maybe she could have said I could have did, like, you don't need to cop to her part for her. You cop to your part, leave her to cop to her part. End of story, we done. Are you listening? David, like, I won't be mad at you, but it's just like, you are continuing to push the narrative that you created with your behavior, that you're a difficult person who needs help and growth. You're continuing to feed that narrative by this display. Now, you might be different because that reunion, episode was 6+ months back. You might be different, but yeah, not helping your case right now, okay? All right, so Joel and V, me and you, we saw this coming, right? We said, like, after he did the few episodes, she felt like Mardi Gras, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was done. We saw this. Are we surprised that we're seeing what we're seeing now? They're on the couch. She's, she in Texas, and he's in New York. And she turned, when a woman turns away from you, she's like, talk to my back. Talk to the back of my head because I ain't listening. Because that's how this is received like this. So, they played the clips for them, the video clips, and it was nostalgic because I have said in the past that I kind of liked how they started off. I really thought it was nice. It was cute, just like woo. You love to see people get on, and in the beginning they played those their chemistry was, the initial clips where their chemistry was really nice, and just seemed like woo, this is gonna be a couple. And then very quickly things, de-escalated. They showed the scene with Kyra, where he talked about Kyra. Kyra, no, you don't know Kyra, but you pick Kyra. And I think maybe in his mind, maybe immature, but in his mind, that was his way of trying to keep it real. I don't quite understand where he was coming from, but he did. And then they played the betrayal convo where it took him a little minute to say, I messed up. 1 for doing it and 2 for not telling you. And then they kind of come to current time. So she says that like 2 weeks after the filming was done, the cameras were done, they were done too. Like, there was just space. He wasn't interested. He was saying that she was moving too fast. I object. I'm offended for her. Because anytime someone says someone moving too fast, particularly if they already started a certain pace, then you're just looking for an excuse to check out. No, you already checked out. You're looking for an excuse to explain the fact that you checked out. She's moving too fast. She's this, she's clinging, she's this. All these things, like, you just have I think things would look different if you just had a conversation with her. Because sis is clearly still emotionally invested in you, because she was talking from here. She's talking from here. That's where she was from. She was upset. The point where you could see tears. But those are just excuses. So I object. Anyone out there, of course, yeah, I'm not Judge Judy. I don't earn the tubers fair or any commentary, but I personally would disagree with anyone agreeing that, yeah, she was clingy. Yeah, she was too pushy. Yeah, she was this. No, none of us are perfect, but he met her like that. But now, because he's no longer interested, those things now become an issue. They go on to discuss the packet where, she said he'd been downplaying their relationship. She says he'd been downplaying your relationship even before the camera started. I'm sorry. She said something about, she brought in, the fact that Joel was always friendly with everyone. He's friendly with Stacy. He's hanging out with Stacy and Chrysanthemum, he had denied to Stacy, I think, or the ladies, one of them, denied that she was his girlfriend. Okay, all right, let me tell you what I feel about this. First of all, once again, I want us as women to hold our wall. Like Game of Thrones, when they held the wall, I want us to hold the wall for each other. So you have any beef involve a man, face the man. Don't bring a woman, a fellow sister into it, because that's not who your beef is with, but that's who you want to, vent on, as opposed to him, because you're still trying to save it. Nah. So you were wrong. You were wrong in 100 different ways when you brought Stacy and any other chick or Amber, because you said something about she want Amber to hang out. Like all of that, that was misplaced aggression, and you were wrong. So V, I'm for you, but that's wrong. And the thing is why I want to bring it up, because a lot of women do this. They misplace their aggression, their emotions, and their feelings onto a fellow sister instead of the person who's actually creating those feelings within you. And so you don't get rid of that energy because you're putting it on the wrong person, and it's wrong. And then men continue to button onto this. And so they escape scot-free. Like they don't do nothing. Remember last season with my girl, Joy? So it was Joy, Simone, and I think Jay. So that little sister-wife situation, none of them tore him down. Jay was sitting there looking cute in his suit. He didn't really get the smoke he deserved, but they kept shooting each other. That's what I didn't like. I mean, they eventually stopped it, but that's what happens. We keep shooting each other instead of shooting the real person who deserves the bullets. So nah, I didn't agree with that. Now, down to the point where him denying, yeah. I mean, there's so many, like, he can come up with excuses. No, we're still kind of figuring each other out. She's not my girlfriend. Like, I don't know, he said this 100 different ways. He started telling you he was not interested when he left you hanging for 3 hours. When you guys were meant to meet up, talk about, since I didn't get back to you, we should have known the plans had changed. What? Qu'est-ce que c'est? So, I think I've learned from this. Don't fight each other. You know, Joel goes on to try and defend himself. He's talking about, yeah, he was trying to move slower, slow the pace down. She wanted to spend the night. He told her not to spend the night. That's fine. Okay, fine. You don't want to spend the night. That's fine. You didn't share that with us. But I guess you want to defend yourself. That's still really personal, I think. Definitely in this clip, she was definitely looking, you could feel the aggression, but rightfully so. Her feelings had been hurt. She had put her heart into it and she was hurt. So yeah, was she looking, you know, territorial and aggressive? Yeah. I guess this was another situation where she probably would have wanted to look unbothered, but she wasn't able to play it off like, you know, she'd be like, Joe, you were wrong. And sometimes when you're so unbothered like that, if you're truthfully, authentically unbothered because you've dealt with it within yourself, that person who wronged you gonna go back and start thinking, second guessing themselves, man, maybe I messed up. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. Because you're looking too unbothered and you start looking interesting again. Human nature. When we start looking like we're not interested or unbothered, the other person looking like, ooh, I made a mistake. What's up? But she hadn't dealt with it to be unbothered. But I'm just saying, an alternative reaction could have been the unbothered look, which would have been a really good look for her. Because otherwise she looked like herself, you know? She's always wanted to show the bosom, so she's not like, you know, sequins are in right now. So she was looking at it. Hadn't cared about her in a while. That's how I feel. Diedrich goes behind the scenes, trying to talk to V. Like, V, you guys were really good together. I don't know if that's genuine, because he liked V at one time. Oh, but it's been a minute. Maybe he just, but she's not the one you need to go to. If Joel was the problem. Mr. Diedrich, brother Diedrich, Uncle Diedrich, she's not the one you need to go to. You need to have gone to your boy Joel to get him correct, because you were moving mad. Now, there's nothing wrong with not being interested, but be honest. Sis, I'm not feeling it anymore. It might sound brash and abrupt and sharp, but it will help her deal when she goes back to her little corner. But right now, you're playing games. You're blaming her for the changes, where the changes is because you're not interested. It had nothing to do with her. She could have, you know, doing handstands on her head. You're not interested, you're not interested. You would have found another excuse. Another beefy packet. We're going to start with the Liz and the David piece. So, you know, they play the part where she had said initially, you know, David has my heart. And she said, you know, she fixed it up when she realized that he was moving around and said, he's not the one, you know. But then we play the piece where, you know, David admits that she had confessed to him privately that you're still in my number one, but I had shared a kiss with Jason. He said he felt some way about it, but he wasn't mature enough to deal with his emotions or to continue the conversation so he could actually deal with it. That's no criticism to him. Not everybody's mature. Everybody has different levels and different stages. Ages and stages, yeah. He just wasn't there yet. That's not my problem with him. My problem is how he began to deal with it. So, you know, embarrassing or attempting to embarrass her in front of his friends by talking about, yeah, do you kiss, you know, Jason again? That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. It's going to be wrong tomorrow. It was wrong yesterday. It's wrong today. It's going to always be wrong. It's going to be forever wrong. You wrong. Take that in and start arguing. Talk about, no, I said it this way. So like, why are you saying all that? Stop. Mess around and get mad. And then they go on to the elimination of what should have been an elimination date, but he did his fake, I self-eliminated. Like, he won't let get a word in edgewise. And he's still defending his position. Uncle Nephew Tommy had to say, bruh, stop. Dude, that's not it. That's not it, sir. He had some trouble accepting. You know, in the background, Auntie Stacy's feeling vindicated. Like, I told this guy was a clown. I told you he was a clown. I'm digressing. So he's still defending why he wouldn't let, you know, Liz speak. So eventually they get some stuff out. He's denying that he said it the way Liz has presented it to us. Liz has been honest with us about stuff, or honest with him about stuff she didn't need to be honest with. No need for her to start lying now. I'm just saying, personally, I believe her. David, I don't believe you. But that's, you're not gonna get, we're gonna get paid because I believe her. I'm just saying I believe her. So my narrative is gonna, is skewed towards her because I believe what she's saying. I believe her words. You're a little bit petty, and you show me a little bit petty. I can only judge you by past behavior. Past behavior dictates that you're petty. So you probably said it. Your past behavior dictates that you're not over it. So I believe her. I'm still getting, let me bring it back. I don't get mad about it. So anyway, they go on, they talk. I think he accepts it. He doesn't accept it. I don't really care. Uncle Nephew Tommy kind of explains to him, you realize how it looks like. You felt like the man, you did an elimination date with Stacy and Andrea, and they took it. They let you talk and say you're no longer ready to love. They took it from you, but your ass was too big, too much to take that. Like, you feel you're something. Let me be unbothered. But anyway, yeah. And that's exactly what it looked like. Like, you weren't man enough to take that you're no longer ready to love, go home. So you decided to pretend you were self-eliminating, sir. We're not impressed. We saw through right that. So whatever you tried to play, we saw something different. So it didn't work. Your little ploy didn't work. But let me take it back. So anyway, he listens and figures, oh, because I feel like I could see the wheels turning in his mind. He's like, let me quickly apologize. So he quickly says, sorry, oh, I didn't mean it. And then says, Lola, let me give you a hug. Comes up in his pants that were like almost, mid-tip fit, like almost at his knees. Like, what were those knickerbockers when I was a kid? Capris. His pants look like capris. But I ain't here to talk about his outfit. So let's keep going. So what was really cute was, that church, you lean over and you give a brother a hug, and you give him a pat on the back. She's like, yeah, she wasn't feeling that, but she didn't want to reject him. She was being polite. She let it go. So that was the end of, the David and Liz piece. It wasn't completely satisfying, but hey, that's okay. What I did like right here, my boy, Jason came through. They have a lovely, playful chemistry. I love it. I can't tell you more. Like, that's how I would like to be with my homie. Like, just gave her a fist bump. Yeah, you held your own, sis. You didn't say much. The role they play with each other, I love it. Keep it going. Love it. So they quickly kind of focusing on just the Jason and Liz piece, while they're going through. I feel like Kyra looking stone-faced, like, I'm gonna try and be unbothered, but I can't because I'm mad. And she's just like fighting. Alexis, they're chuckling because she definitely feels in competition with Kyra. So she happy that Kyra will start on this. That's why she looked like, because Alexis looked too happy. For the insult she'd received last week, she's looking too happy right now. But that's just my opinion. So anyway, they talk. We talk about the white rose. People have talked about this white rose thing. I thought it was cute. Like, y'all sometimes reading too much and doing too much. Like, yo, go read a book, go work out. Don't read too much into rose ceremony. Some people out there talking about, Liz is like his mother, like there's only 4 years between them. Now, don't mistake this. Like, I've always been like, okay, so for Jason. I'm still so. I'm not like blown over by him. But some of the things he's done, I'm like, yeah. Like, when you do something, I'm going to give you a pound. Like, yeah, what's up? So, yeah, but this one I'm talking about is like his mother, the Oedipus Rex kind of, y'all doing too much. At this point, y'all doing too much. You need more information to start going with that. I have no smoke for Jason. I'm not his, like, woo-hoo. I'm Liz's cheerleader, but I'm not really for Jason. But I'm okay. He's warming up. He's just there. I have him defrosting. So, but I can admire and respect some of his moves, and some of them I'll call it out. So yeah, and I've always said that with what's her name, with Liz. She reminds me of Whitley from A Different World. Because remember that part where she's like, Mama, I got me a man. I got me a man. I'm coming home. That was cute. She is an actress, people. Calm down. That wasn't a desperate move. Because I keep seeing little words, people talking about she's desperate, she this, she that. No. I thought that was a cute little scene. And that's why I didn't end up on the floor. It was cute. She's an actress, produces shows, produces stage shows. So she knows how to be funny and bring it on. And it was perfect. Like, you can hate on it if you want to, but I thought it was a little perfect part. And then they just kind of went on to explain, you know, the things they liked. Like, I think particularly with him, he liked the fact that they had honesty between them, great communication, and she enjoyed and respected his pursuit of her. She didn't have to pursue him. Yo, I'm right there with her. I'm not trying to pursue you, sir. You interested? Holla. I'll let you know if I am. I'm not going to pose and preen and play games. No, but step. I ain't trying to step to, hey, sir, you interested? Hey, sir, you interested? I ain't trying to fall on one knee and propose. That's not how it works. Not in my stratosphere. It don't work like that. Sisters, you don't, that's not how it's created. You know, most of us who are Christians, it's a man who finds a good thing. A man who finds a wife finds a good thing. Not the woman who finds a husband finds a good thing. So, brah, meant to be on his knee proposing. Let me bring it back, because we're still talking about Liz. So yeah, they talked about, yo, if they've been intimate yet, nosy pockets. That's none of our business, but it's our business. We're curious, because they have great chemistry. I think that's why everyone's interested. And like, no, she still has her standards. They kiss, they hug. And he said, I respect her boundaries. He loved her that much. He respects her boundaries. Now I'm speaking for him, I don't know, but he likes her that much. And so he's saying he's not pushing, that he actually pulls back after a certain point. So he's not pushing it. Respects her. Respect. She says, you know, she realizes that he's like her dad. I just think this is a fun relationship. Are they going to get married? I don't know, but this relationship was not a mistake. Sis, Liz, I wish you the best. I know you said you've had past relationships where they've left you. I think everyone can say that's an experience. I hope the Lord is with you. And if, you know, homie, if Jason's the one for you, God will continue to build you guys from strength to strength. That's my prayer for you. You know, guys, look like we're at the end of it. And clearly, you all know who my favorite is. Jason and Liz, my favorite couple. Liz has been my favorite. Jason, he's growing on me. He's defrosting on the sides, but I'm okay. Everybody else, you know, we're talking about KG, Amber. I don't know what they're playing out. You see that they're coming to America outfit? Like, they came from, you know, what kind of outfit would be a little bit better? They just had that outfit thing was, I don't know what they were doing with that. I don't know what was going on there. You know, yeah, I don't know. But did you notice that Troy at the end, he talked about he wanted to come back just like KG? So you think, Troy, let me holler at you. You think they'll bring you back to keep kissing people? To extend your predator behavior or maybe hide it? Troy, you are a good looking brother. Do your work, do the inner work, and you won't need to struggle to find her. If you're ready for her. At 51, I think you're ready. So sir, do your inner work, fall back. That's my advice to you, sir. But everybody else kind of did what they needed to do. Stacy, Chrysanthemum. I mean, it was AJ, Ashlyn, Dark Lord. No beef here, you just you. Like, I don't know what to say about everybody else. It was a decent season. Most of the women, all forgive me. We didn't even get to Tressa. Tressa couldn't come because she had a COVID positive test. But that's another beauty. I want to say all the women were beautiful in different ways. So the person or the people, producers who picked the women, they were on it. Because you can't lie in your sleep and say those women are not gorgeous. The guys are okay. Some of them had some muscles. They did okay. They were easy. Some were easy in the eyes. They did okay. You know, they weren't so crazy. He was decent. He was a decent looking brother too. Troy, if he wasn't so like, he was a decent looking brother too. So I think generally altogether did okay. But here we go with the end of another season. Look like, I feel like we learned something. I learned something. You learned something. So we're probably going to do this again when they come back, because I think we're going to DC next, guys. It's been a pleasure. It's been a ball. And I hope I've been able to entertain you, as well as throw out some pointers that we can use as we navigate this dating world. I ain't trying to do that in front of y'all, but we can just talk about it after the fact. But guys, this is me signing out on Ready to Love. But we'll be doing Love and Marriage Huntsville, which I believe starts next week. So guys, it's been real. Thank you. Lola, over and out.